Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are here again, YouTube Live. February. I can't believe it's February already. My goodness, where did January go? As you can see, we have Sunny here, back again, our program director for Gender-Based Violence Department. And we're going to be talking about the Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. This month is celebrating that. Not celebrating, but bringing more awareness to teen dating violence. Especially tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So happy almost Valentine's Day. I don't know if you have any plans, but happy early Valentine's Day. Do you have any plans? I'm assuming not, because she was very surprised that it's Valentine's.
I mean, I might.
That's a no.
I might. I really might. Oh, I do.
Okay.
You better. If you're watching this, you better. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So why don't we talk about what this awareness month, a little bit background, like what is this supposed to do? How is this supposed to help?
So this February is to really honor Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, right? And a lot of people, adults, do not think that teen dating violence is a thing. But, just to tell you a little bit about my background, I used to work at the unified school district as a counselor. And I met a lot of teenagers, right? And actually, teen dating violence, most of my girl clients, they were all the victim or survivors of teen dating violence. And that's when I was like, before I started my work at the school district, I was like, they're just kids, right? How bad can it be? But after that, I was like, oh, right? It could be as serious as adult domestic violence, right? So this is, and just because this is how people think and how community thinks, this is really a movement to really bring that to the surface, to the light. Like this is happening and it's a really serious problem.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think we tend to make it less lighter because we think it's kids, like, what could kids do? But yeah, it is a serious topic. Do you have any stories that you could share with us, maybe from your past experience?
Of course. So, I just wanted to talk about this specific case, relationship.
Okay.
So it's she, my client, let's just name her Susie.
Okay.
Right? Susie, she was, when I first met her, she was like 14, 15, or 16 years old. Not 10 years ago. I don't really remember exactly when. But she was like 14, 15, right? And when I first saw her, she was really depressed, right? And she was harming herself, and she was anorexic, so many symptoms, right? So, and then I was talking to her, and she started sharing about her relationship. And later I found out that she was in a relationship, really unhealthy relationship, right? And basically her boyfriend was really depressed as well, right? And she didn't have a lot of friends. So what happened was that he always wanted to spend time with Susie, right? And then ended up pressuring her, like, can you just skip the class and stay with me? I feel really depressed. I need to be with someone, And obviously, she started skipping her classes, tests, exams, and obviously it was impacting her grades, right? And she was about to fail the class. And obviously, did she feel happy about that? No, she didn't feel happy at all about the relationship because, she saw what was happening in her life and she didn't like that. And she was really stressed about the relationship too. But just because he would say like, oh, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. You're the only one who understands me. And with him, with his, history of self-harming, she knew that. And she really believed that he was going to kill himself if she left him, right? And which really trapped her in the relationship. So she didn't know what to do in the relationship. She was really stressed out. At the same time, she loved him. She wanted to help him. She felt like she was the only one, and then the relationship went on, right? And the reason why I wanted to share this is that usually when teenagers look at the relationship like this, they don't really see abuse. They don't really think it's violent, right? They don't think that it is violence, right? But in the end, he was actually controlling her behaviors,
Right.
controlling her life, right? Because I need you, I'm weak, I'm depressed, right? So I just wanted to share this story to kind of emphasize that there are very different forms of unhealthy relationship.
Right. Right. So when she came to you, when she first came to you, was it because of the depression or the relationship or her just well-being in general?
She came because she was depressed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, obviously she was not doing well in her class, and she was really depressed, and herself was also harming herself as well.
Okay.
So I mean, her thigh and the arm was like with the mark and everything. So she came because of that.
Did she kind of relate that to the relationship, or that's something you helped her find?
No, I had to help her to really connect, right, with her depressed symptoms and her relationship. For her, even before I addressed it to her, it was always, I just have a boyfriend who needs help, and that was it. And then I loved him, so I'm gonna help him, So it was just that.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit more, everything's more heightened when you're teenagers because all the hormones and all the emotions and I'm going to love this person for the rest of my life,
Yes.
like it's that kind of, if we think about when we were teens, I can imagine those emotions are so high and you definitely want to help this person. And yeah, so I think almost it could be even more heightened than in adults, I feel like, because there's so much going on within themselves.
They're emotional beings.
Yeah,
right?
right.
And then because of hormone and everything, they're emotional. I mean, even without the relationship, they're already emotional, right? And it just adds and make it better or worse.
Right. Yeah, so when we were kind of planning and we're like, what should we talk about in this YouTube Live today? We felt like, you know what? Let's ask those uncomfortable questions. There's questions that teens could be too afraid of or too embarrassed to ask adults. But I think it's so needed to have that conversation, right? Because we always talk about, how to prevent this is having healthy relationships or healthy discussions. But I think that's a lot harder to do than we say. It's so easy to say, you just have to have a good relationship with your kids. But I don't know how many parents are actually talking about these difficult subjects, right?
Not at all. Not at all.
And so, so we thought let's make this really informational for the kids so that when they do need that advice, they could probably go to ChatGPT these days, right? They could probably put in the questions into ChatGPT and just get an answer. But I feel like you're losing a little bit of that human connection with ChatGPT because it's almost like they give you a roadmap. They do give you a roadmap, do this, or that. But then you're losing that human connection because not all cases are the same. Not all people are the same. And so, we're going to ask those embarrassing, difficult questions. You can also use it as a tool for parents because maybe you and your child watch this video together. And then, you're not outright talking about those, you're almost secondhand watching it, but then you can discuss it afterwards, right? So you can be like, oh, so what did you think about what they talked about? And maybe that's a nice starting point to talk about too.
I mean, there's a funny research on this.
Oh, yeah?
So there was a parent group and the children group, right? And then when the researchers asked the parent group, do you guys talk about the healthy relationship with your kids? 67% of parents said they do.
Oh, okay.
Right? When they asked their children about that same question, only 35-ish%
said that
student reported that they do.
Yeah.
Right? So most of, there's a discrepancy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it could be a good tool for the parent to have the to have a conversation with the teenagers, right?
You know what I think it is also? A lot of Asian parents say, oh, not my child. My child doesn't do drugs. My child is not dating.
I used to work at SAT prep school, right? I saw so many kids, right? Teenagers. So, I mean, I knew this boy. He was like 17, 16. He did drug. He did drug.
Yeah.
So he would come up to the class with a red eye and everything, right? So we would have to kind of talk with him and stuff like that. Like one day I got a call from his mom. Like, oh, how's my kid doing? Is it doing? I mean, he's getting good grade at school. Thank you. He's great, right? So she had no idea. You know, for her, in her mind, she was making this all money and then provide him with the support him with the money and everything, and yet he was doing drug on the street, right? I'm like, how clueless could you be? You know, it's your own child, right? So I mean, like I said, not my kid, not my children. It's not happening to us, but it does.
We did get a question in from Sue Park. 근데 제가 애한테 좀 그 관계가 좀 이상한데라고 하면 불같이 화를 내거나 나랑 말도 다시 안 해요.
So I do have this type of conversation with parents a lot because always relationship has to come first, right? So you have to have the trusting relationship in order to have that type of conversation, because a lot of times what happens between parents and children is that, oh, my parents don't understand. They're just messed up. They're 꼰대. I'm not sure. I don't know how to translate it in English.
Old timer? Old word?
They're OGs, right? They're OG,
that's
old
a nice way of
generation.
saying it, yeah.
I mean, in a bad way. But they do not understand my culture, right? And they don't understand me. It's just embedded in their system. So whenever the parents want to talk about something serious, they're like, nope. Whatever that comes out of your mouth is not applicable to me, right? So the teenagers always have that attitude. So what I really think is important is that the relationship has to come first, right? Yeah. And also, I mean, if you do not have that much time, maybe you want to talk about what healthy relationship looks like instead of talking about unhealthy, because always it is easier to talk about healthy ones over unhealthy one.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So you want to get into this right now?
Yes, let's do that.
So you might get people watching might get uncomfortable with the questions, but that's what they're meant to be. It's meant to be uncomfortable. It's meant to be that difficult conversation, right? Okay. So first question. All my friends are having sex, so what's the big deal?
It can be a big deal. But it doesn't have to, it may not be a big deal. So I guess it really depends on how comfortable you are.
Okay.
Right? So how you feel about this, how comfortable, how prepared you are. So what your friends do and what your parents say doesn't
always align.
It doesn't,
Right.
yeah. And it doesn't decide how comfortable you are. Right? How prepared you are. So you really have to look inside and ask yourself, how ready am I? Right? And go with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Because that's a big decision, right? Because that's like the most you can give to someone. Like you're giving your whole being to someone. And so as a teenager, are you ready to give, like that kind of self-reflection, I think, is always needed. It's not just it's no whatever's. It's not just whatever's.
Yeah. And also, I mean, it comes with a huge responsibility and consequences.
Right.
So you have to think about that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if kids think it's not a big deal these days, but I don't know.
It really depends. It really depends. For some people, it's a big deal.
Right.
For some students or kids or teenagers, it is not. So like I said, it's really about you and how comfortable you are.
Right.
So you really have to ask that question to yourself, like, am I ready? And that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Okay, next question. So let's say you're in a relationship, and how do I say no or slow things down without the other person wanting to break up with me?
I mean, in the first place, to begin with, you shouldn't have any problem sharing your thoughts. Okay? You shouldn't have any problem slowing it down. Okay? If your partner, your boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't feel comfortable with you slowing down and they get upset, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta think. You gotta think. Like whoever's up there, right? I mean, it's like, so I mean, if that person break up with you because you try to slow down and set up your boundary, bless you. That's good for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't think you should, that fear of someone breaking up with you should not dictate what you do in life. That's not a healthy relationship, right? Before we continue on to the next question, if you have some questions that you would like to cover with us that you think maybe your teen child or your child could ask you, feel free to put that up in the chat. Okay, next question. Would you consider jealousy abuse?
No.
Because we see all the Korean dramas, right?
Yes.
And like Korean dramas are all about the jealousy, that triangle love, you know?
Yeah, let me be very clear with you. Jealousy itself is not.
Okay.
Because it's an emotion that you get, right? Like just like how when you're sad, when you're happy, you know, it's something that you cannot control.
Okay.
It's like automatic reaction to something, right? Jealousy is the same thing. You are just reacting to something, right? So jealousy is totally okay. But what is not okay is to control someone, your partner, because of your jealousy. That is not okay. Okay, so that is totally different from feeling jealousy, feeling jealous. Okay, so you shouldn't, right? What you can do is you can share your emotion. You can share where you're at. You can share your jealousy maybe to your partner and come up with a way or kind of discuss with your partner and then come up with a solution that you both can satisfy, that you both are happy, right? But that doesn't mean that, both partners have to be okay with it, right? You cannot force something to your partner just because you're jealous.
Right. You know, some people actually will get hurt if the partner does not get jealous. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. And also, I think it's a very toxic side of K-drama, but they don't feel loved if your partner doesn't get aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about this aggressive,
right.
but then like punch the wall,
right.
push you to the wall and try to kiss you. I don't know why, but all these abusive behavior is
normalized almost.
Normalized.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I mean, if you feel upset that your partner is not jealous about something, that says a lot too, I think. Not just the person that's getting jealous, but you getting angry that they're not getting jealous says a lot too.
You need some
somehow, you know, get some help.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is, okay, so what if my significant other wants me to share my location with them? And so here's the thing is, like, they might think it's okay because maybe their mom and dad share their location with one another. I
mean, even with the married couple, I wouldn't say that it is necessary, right? I mean, it really, it's up to you. Right? I mean, if you feel comfortable sharing your location, if you want to do that because of your safety, you're concerned about your safety, do that, right? But you have to do that voluntarily. You're not going to share your location just because your partner asked you. Right? And also like password too. Yeah. I've seen a lot of cases where the harm starts or abuse starts after sharing the password, right? We talk about cyberbullying. We talk about cyber stalking. It always starts with sharing the password. Right. So I always tell teenagers, do not share a password to your partner.
I don't even know why you would need to share a location with a significant other. I mean, I could see married couples. I could argue like, oh, they want to see if they went to pick up the kids or something. But I think in teens, like, there's no reason for you to share locations. I think. Although I have seen where people find out that they're cheating on them through the location.
I mean, that's another story,
That's another story.
But I mean, just to remind you, I just wanted to remind everyone that love has to be built based on the respect, right, and trust. Right. If you cannot trust your partner, no.
Right. We did get a question in from Summers. Question is, my child is very extremely obsessed with her boyfriend. What should I do as a parent? I think we don't know how old the child is, so that could depend on how the age of the child.
And also how this obsession looks like.
Yeah, what
Because
does
I mean,
it look like?
it might be very different from how parents see them, right?
Like the parent might think they're obsessed, but
But
maybe
they may not be.
I mean, if the parent thinks they're obsessed, I would think there's some kind of
Maybe.
a little bit to it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess
So the first thing is just start the conversation.
right.
Do not talk about like why are you so upset about your boyfriend? Like why are you so upset? Don't say that. But then how is it going with your boyfriend? How is it going with your girlfriend? Just start from there and see if your daughter, right? What the daughters share and what they say. You know, and start from there.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I guess I would ask like what does it look like from the boyfriend's point of view too? Like is he equally obsessed or
but sometimes for parents it's hard to find out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's hard to tell just from this, the question is a little vague because we don't know what the obsession looks like and the age of the child. So again, always healthy relationships start with healthy discussions. So maybe starting that, like asking, like Sunny said, asking like, how are you guys doing? Like, I don't know.
But what is important is that just ask questions.
Right.
Do not accuse your daughter. Because it's not there. I mean, once they feel like they are being accused, they're
Then
just
they go defensive.
Yeah, they're gonna be very defensive. They're gonna be so upset. They're just gonna stop talking to you. Right. So I think it is really important to just engage in conversation rather than you're doing something wrong.
Okay. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Next question is it normal to not want to do anything sexual yet as teens?
Is it normal? Yes, it is completely normal. Okay. So some teens, they do want to wait days, months, years. Or, there are even teenagers who do want to wait until they meet the right person. Right. So I guess, and they're all okay. They're all okay. There's no right or wrong answer. Right. It's just, it really up to you. It really up to you. So ask yourself, I already said this, told you guys, but ask yourself how comfortable you are and start from there. And
are you able to, would you be able to be okay with all the responsibility and the consequences that come with that? So, yeah. Next question is, what do I do if I send someone an inappropriate photo or start to get cyberbullied? I think this is more relevant these days because just the relevance of social media and just, people just sending pictures and, a child might not think that this is something bad. I don't know, like, because they're sending to someone they love, right? So what would
that's not the case. That's not the case all the time.
Right. That's not the case all the time. But in their mind, they might think like, oh, this person would never hurt me. They would never use this, badly. I want to show them I love them. So what do you, like but let's say they start saying that if you don't do something, I'm going to spread your pictures or, what would you suggest?
One thing that I want to tell teenagers who experience this is that it's not your fault. It is not your fault. So if you send this photo by force, or if this person shares it's a photo of you without any consent, right? It's just not your fault. The reason why a lot of teenagers or students feel afraid to report, right, and get help is that they think that it is on them.
Right.
They think that it is their fault for sending that. Maybe for, it's their fault for falling into that, right?
Or they'll get in trouble.
But it is not, right? And then it is better to have, to share this with a trusted adult. It could be your parents, it could be your counselors at school, teachers, or even police, right? It is better to get someone, adult involved.
Right.
And it is never your fault.
Right. And, these days, anything that goes onto the internet will stay on the internet forever. So before you send any pictures or whatever inappropriate things, just, think twice. Make sure that you're sending it to the right person or I don't know, be really confident that this person would never do anything with it, you know?
I mean, so you do not have to stay in the conversation. You could just stop it. And also when you report, if you happen to report to the police officers, it's always a evidence, right? So it's best. I know that it could be really hard and challenging emotionally and physically.
Right.
But it is always a best practice to take a pictures, screenshot of the whatever the evidence that you could make.
Right.
It's really important.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times teens are too scared to let an adult know because they feel like they'll get in trouble because they think they did something wrong. But I think in most cases, you will find that parents, they will protect you. It is their job to protect you, right? And so I would say don't wait. Seek help as soon as possible. I know I'm sure they might get disappointed because, they would hope that something like this never happens. But still, do that. Go to an adult, go to a parent. Their job is to protect you. So, yeah.
Safety first.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Is it disrespectful to set boundaries with my parents about my privacy? So this, I'm sure, is very relevant for our Asian parents where they don't see that line of privacy, right?
I mean, I get this question so much.
Oh, really?
The point where
Wait, from parents or teens?
both.
Okay.
Well, usually teens.
Okay.
But the point where that I have given education on this so many times, right? And no, it is not disrespectful. It's really healthy. So wanting privacy is totally fine. It's totally normal, right? And a lot of times, Korean or Asian parents, they're horrible. They're horrible at respecting their children's boundaries.
Right.
Right. So a lot of times it's on the children. It's their burden to really set the boundary for themselves, right? Which is totally normal.
Right.
And it might take a while because for parents, a lot of times boundary is just not there. Because for them, you're my child, you're my children. What do you mean you want privacy? Like, what are you doing behind the door?
Right.
Basically, right? And also a lot of parents, they didn't really have boundaries for themselves growing up too, right? So it's very new to them.
Right.
So it might take a while for you to set that boundary, but you have to be really clear. You have to be consistent when you say that to your parents. And don't be like, don't do that. Don't get emotional.
Right.
All you have to be is like, Mom, Dad, I want this from you. I'm an individual being. I know that it might sound really... it might sound very, what's the word?
I don't know.
Disrespectful for you, but I need this from you. Very clear.
Yeah. My cousin actually said something that I found really insightful. She said that if I don't set the boundaries with my child, if I don't respect them when they say no, how can they learn to do that out in the world? So I was like, wow, that actually is really smart because it does start at home, right? If we don't respect our child's boundary, their privacy, or when they say no, how do they know to do that out in the world?
Yeah. Yeah.
We did get a question from Jennifer. Oh, how can I get my child to watch this video? Any suggestions?
I don't know. There are two beautiful women here. So I guess that works.
I mean, I don't know if teens will find us beautiful, but thank you.
It works.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not a thing that you suggest. Maybe you just play it. Just like we're talking about this. Yeah.
We're talking. Listen.
Yeah, I don't have any suggestions on that. I don't know.
Maybe a viewer system. If you watch this 3 times, you get a movie ticket. Something like that. Maybe.
But I guess always going back to like if you've already have that foundation of healthy conversations, healthy discussions, then maybe it's easier to like suggest like, hey, I came across this video. I thought it was really interesting. Like, do you want to watch it together and we can talk about it? I don't know.
I mean, as long as the parents are very aware of this topic that we just talked about, and they are educated, they watched our video, maybe you could start having a conversation. You don't have to have your kids watch the video as long as you can talk about this with your children.
Yeah. We just got another question in from Summer. Actually, I also really hate that my child keeps the door closed. I mean, I feel like teens, especially that teen, period, is when we really want to it's just me. I don't want anyone else in my space. And yeah, I think that is one of the harder things for parents to navigate.
Yeah.
Like trying to find that fine line between giving them their space, but also making sure that they're not doing anything they shouldn't be doing. I don't know. What do you think?
So I mean, we all have to understand, right? The teenagers, it's really, really, it's a time when they learn to become me, right? Apart from my parents, right? Making my own space, my own boundaries. They have to learn what is okay, what is not okay. Right? And if the parents cannot respect that and make that environment for their children to really set up the healthy boundaries, where are they going to have that experience, right? I think it's really important to remember that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that parents don't like it when kids are so closed off, they keep their doors closed. But I think it comes down to, do you trust your child? Do you, fully trust that they're not doing anything wrong in their room? And again, all comes back to healthy relationships.
And then conversation.
Right.
And talk about, and talk, and you have a discussion about what the personal space means to you.
Right.
How does that look like in real life? Yeah. And what do you want me to do in order to respect your personal space?
Yeah.
And
I think also as parents, they could set hey, maybe you set a rule okay, from 8 p.m. and on, you can have your doors closed, but I don't want it closed all the time. And you can discuss why that is important to you and start from there. And then maybe you guys can come together on one rule or one, thing that you guys can both agree on.
And it's about understanding one another. Right. And their point of view.
Right.
It's not I'm forcing, just because I'm older, just because I'm parent, I am going to make you do this. It's not that. But then to try to understand your children's world and also have children understand your world and where it's coming from.
Right. Because it's not you want them to keep their doors open because you want to watch them all the time, make sure they're not doing anything wrong. But, I think if you explain to kids why it is that you feel it's important to keep their doors open, then it might work. I don't know. Okay, next question. Is it normal that my parents expect me to wait until college to date? Again, probably a more Asian topic.
Yeah, it's very Asian. But I mean, yes. Okay, so I have to redefine what normal meant. Okay, so yes, a lot of Asian API parents do expect you to wait until the college. Okay, but you do not have to agree with your parents. You do not. I said so many times, I've shared so many times this, during our conversation, but it's really about you, right? So you have to ask yourself, when do I want to start dating? You know what I mean? When am how ready I am? Do I really want to start a relationship right now? So, yeah. There's no right or wrong.
Right.
But I kind of want the teenagers to understand the parents' side as well. Why are they preventing me from dating early? Why is that? I think it's kind of helpful to understand where this is coming from. But like I said, you don't have to agree with it.
I'm sure most parents want kids to focus on studying, right? Get into college and then you can date is probably what the response is usually. But I think there's that kids still, again, emotions are high, hormones are high. So in high school, to tell them they can't date, I think is a little difficult too. Try and think back when you were a child, when you were a teen. If you like someone and they like you back, you're gonna want to date.
Yeah, that was 30 years ago. You know what I mean? When your parents, it was 30 years ago. It's a different world now.
I know, but still, the emotions are the same.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 more questions. Next question. So who can I go to if I'm in trouble?
With a lot of my the dating survivor, or I mean, a lot of my clients who were in unhealthy relationship, they never went to their parents or adults other than myself. They only did that because they knew that the secret was safe with me, right? But they never told anyone about their relationship.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so so a lot of times it's usually their friends that who they go to. Talk about their relationship, because I mean we always talk about relationship with friends, right? And it doesn't really go anywhere because they're not gonna be able to provide practical support, other than emotional support. I'm like, oh, I feel sorry, but you know, I'm in the same shoes. I experienced the same thing. It's a thing. Maybe your boyfriend or your girlfriend loves you too much, right? I'm not gonna go anywhere.
Right.
So if you are really uncomfortable with the relationship, I think the best practice is to go to the trusted adult. It doesn't have to be your parent, but maybe teacher, maybe school counselors or counselors, whoever the adult that you can go to, because a lot of time they have more resources and more knowledge about the world and the system, the relationship, so they can actually give you more practical support.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they can find some comfort in sharing what they're going through with friends, but like Sunny said, it doesn't really go anywhere, right? Other than you've shared a problem, but there's no solution to the problem yet. Okay, so we do have a hotline number for our domestic violence. We have a TV hotline number, which they've shared in the chat room. Can teens call that number if they're in trouble as well?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, good to know. Good resource. Okay, I think we're over time. So as we finish, I just wanted to let everyone know that we've started Instagram Lives. If you haven't seen it already, we did our first one last week. It's on Fridays at 12. And that's just more a fun space where we get to talk about fun stuff and fun topics. And it's just off the cuff, no script, and just Jennifer and I just chatting like while we have lunch. So check that out. The next one will be next Friday. So yeah, the next YouTube live stream is going to be on February 27th, which Sunny is going to be coming back.
Yes.
That will be our Korean version, and that one will be more, I believe, more geared towards the parents' perspective on teen dating. Okay. So yeah, we hope that you learned a lot. Hopefully this is helpful. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. But for now, we'll say bye. So you forgot already?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Bye from K-Fam.